Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Berube here for another Facebook Live. That one just jumped right on us, Paul. That's why it's live. That's why it's live. In this month of Rocktober, we're halfway through, a little more than halfway through. Hope you've done your business plans, everybody. But anyway, let's get into it today. We are very fortunate from the Yerba Linda office to have Sherry Farsany with us today. Welcome, Sherry.
Good morning.
As you can hear, the studio audience goes crazy. Yes. All right. Well, welcome to the show. Tell us a little about yourself, how long you've been doing that, all that good stuff, Sherry, please.
Well, I'm Sherry Farsany. I'm in Yerba Linda office for Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I've been doing this since 2005 and very excited. I cannot believe I'm so excited to be a realtor. I did a lot in the past. I was in healthcare, but the self-satisfaction that I'm getting as a real estate agent with helping others and helping them to find their dream home, I think I found the job and what I like to do for the rest of my life, being a real estate agent, especially working with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.
Wow. Okay. And what about your manager there? He's pretty good too, isn't he? He said, make sure you give me an honorable mention. He's funny. No, Larry's great. He's doing the office meeting right now. He's not dressed as Elvis today, is he?
Larry is awesome. I gotta tell him a little bit about him.
Okay.
Honestly, he's very helpful. I call him weekend, late evening, and honestly, he's always responsive. He always gives me the right tips that how to move forward. And he's very, very helpful. And honestly, if it wasn't here, I don't know. Then I should have been calling you.
Well, we love Larry too. We think he's great. And it was a pleasure being at your office meeting last week too, and then doing training after. That was a blast.
Yes.
You guys have
fun to be in the office.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It is such a beautiful part of the world too. That lovely Southern California. I love it. All right.
Yes.
All right. You've been doing it for a while now, since 2005, right? You've seen a few different markets, haven't you, since you've been doing this?
Yes. But this is incredible what we are.
Yeah. Tell us a little about it. I know you're having your best year ever, aren't you?
Yes. This is the best year ever. And honestly, during the worst time of COVID, I was showing property via just FaceTiming the client. I didn't want the client to come. So I would go to the property, show them the property via FaceTime. And if it was something that they wanted it to come and see, then I would make the second appointment for them to come. So I try to, not to get them exposed, but at the same time, getting my clients what they wanted it. And it's been phenomenal. This 2021 and also 2020 was great. And I'm just looking forward to 2022 and, keep the clients happy and getting them what they deserve.
That's right. So you really got it done in 2021.
Yes.
Now we're going to see what's possible for you in 2022, right? There you go.
To me, the way I see it is the limit is the sky. And one thing that I honestly do with my client, I'm very transparent with them. I'm very honest with them. And I look what I can do to get them the dream house that they want or sell their property as the top dollar that they're asking, but it has to be to a reasonable level and make them understand how to deal with the buyers if they get an offer and how to look at the whole picture and look at the end what they're getting, for their property in this market. And I've been very lucky with my client, very lucky, and I'm getting a lot of referral from past clients just because I'm being very honest and being transparent with them, and I love helping them. And this is how I get my client, and this is how I've set up my 2022, just with them sending me the referral.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I think you're being very humble and saying lucky, but apparently, well, let's put it this way. When I asked all the managers for suggestions for Facebook Live, Larry put your name in right away, and he said she has a very unique ability to get other agents, like your buyers, usually get the house they're looking at, right? Because of your negotiation skills, right?
Yes, yes. I actually, what I do when I see a property that my client really wants, I get into communication with the listing agent. Because one thing I tell the listing agent that we are, even though we're just representing two different sides, but we're actually have the same goal, and we need to be a teamwork regardless, because he has a client that wants to make happy with selling the property. I have a buyer that is interested in that property. So if we kind of work together versus working to try to show each other that we have a separate agenda, but at the end our goal is that property, and get it sold, get it bought for my client. So honestly, the listing agents are so. Right now, at this moment, I'm in a communication with the agent on a counter for a property that the agent honestly called me yesterday, and he said, "I just want to tell you one thing." And I said, "What?" He said, "I just want to say thank you," even though he had not sent the counter. I said, "What did I do?" We put an offer on Thursday. He told me he's going to respond to me by Monday. Normally, a lot of agents, buyers agent, they don't like that difference of,
The
three
time.
days waiting, yeah, waiting for a counter. I told him I totally understand. I'll look forward to hearing from you Monday afternoon. He calls me Monday morning, and he just wanted to say thank you, because he says you're patient, it's easy to communicate with you, you understand what I'm saying, and believe me, I would love to work with you. So that kind of attitude with the listing agent, he sees that I'm trying to make this deal move forward. I'm not against him. I'm right on his side. We're working hand to hand to make this deal happen for both sides. So it was nice to hear from him, even though I didn't get the counter yet. But he sent me the counter a couple hours later, which right now in the middle of negotiation with him, and it looks really good.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good for
because
you.
well, we established a guideline that, hey, let's work together.
Right. So you call them up, you immediately become team members with them to sell the property.
Exactly,
That's so much more effective
exactly,
than just going over and taking the key out of the lockbox, right?
exactly. No, I honestly do, and there are a lot of agents when we close a deal, they become my friend. They call me and say happy birthday. They call me and say, just because I show them that I'm on your side, and we're friends, we're in the same industry. We
Mm,
just have to keep that, because we don't know when we're going to face them again somewhere else. You may be a listing agent and they bring a buyer for you. So
mm.
why not to create that environment that we all can work together?
Yeah, yeah, that synergy and that professionalism. And let's face it, Sherry, we all know, I call it the rock star rule, but it's really the new rule. It used to be Pareto principle, which was 80-20 rule. 80% of the business
Exactly.
done by 20% of the agents, but today it's more like 90% of the business done by 10% of the agents. And when you're working with one of those agents, plus it's just the golden rule anyway, treat people the way
Yes.
you want to be treated.
You want
And
to be treated. Yes.
unfortunately, we're in a business where that isn't done very often, is it?
It doesn't. And I hear that from a lot of agents, and they tell me, how do you get, because I've been lucky with a lot of the offers that I've put in. And they said, how do you do that? I said, I honestly don't understand the question that much, because the way that you're supposed to be in any type of business, to be ethical and be honest, either with the client or the other side. So I tell them, I'm just being honest about it. I don't go around the bushes, and I tell them what we can do. And honestly, I double pre-qualify my client prior to putting an offer, because
Right,
I want to make sure when I put an offer, we're able to close. It's not just about putting an offer, being able to close it and finish it right.
right.
So I do that with my clients. So when I move forward, I know how much power my buyer has to move forward with the deal. So that kind of give me that confidence with the
Mhm.
listing agent to be able to perform properly.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is you take your fiduciary responsibility seriously and you put your buyer in a position because they're
Yes,
qualified, they have their extra money, you know exactly how much over asking if necessary, they can go.
exactly.
So you go in there, you're organized, you're ready, and the listing agent can tell that. So it's a lot
Yes,
easier. Like sometimes you can see an offer that's a little bit more money, but you look at the offer and you talk to the agent and you go, yeah, that ain't going to happen, right? But with you,
yes,
they know right away when they're talking to Sherry that she's going to put it together and it's going to stick and it's going to close, and your buyers are in a better position for doing so.
yes.
So it's very obvious to me why they tell all their friends, and then the next thing you know, you got a whole bunch of business going on.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, the client that I'm dealing with right now, they are so static, and they respond. I'm sending the counter. They have no fear about going above asking price, and they are comfortable to move forward, and they are comfortable to do the step that I tell them that they need to do. So it kind of gives me the comfort and the confidence that this deal is going to go through. It won't be no problem, and for me to fight for them in the right way, not against the listing agent, but make sure they get the property that they want.
Right. That's
So
awesome. That,
I've been lucky.
that I see. There you go. Use that word lucky again. I would say you're organized, you're professional, you're ethical, and you're on top of your game. So if you want to call
Yes,
all that together as lucky, that's one thing. But I would call it 4 or 5 of those things I just mentioned. So that's why. But good. I like your humility. Now we talked earlier before, excuse me, and you said, "Yeah, this is going to be my best year ever." But I'm going to follow it up with another best year ever in 2022, aren't you?
yeah. It's just the beginning because um, I kind of got the fire from year 2020, and then it's continuing. And believe me, for 2022, I already had a lot lined up for the first quarter that is going to be phenomenal with the clients that I'm actually getting from my sphere and all the referral that I'm getting from past clients. So I'm also ready for 2022, and I know I'm going to top 2022 better than 2021.
Nice.
I do have a plan. I do have goals that I had set up, and I see that every step that I take right now this year is to help me for the next year. So it's always good to think at this moment in the fourth quarter that we're almost at the end of it, is just to get the proper action that it kind of prepares me for 2022. So I am doing this right now. I did it throughout the year, but when I get to the fourth quarter, it's like the clock is ticking
Right.
for
You.
2022. So I got to make sure for my first quarter, I have enough to do my first quarter of 2022 better than my first quarter of 2021, and even better than my fourth quarter of 2021. So these are all the things that I'm preparing myself for that, and I'm ready for action.
All right. And what is the goal for next year? Do you have you like what are your transaction money? What are your goals? What would you how would you like to finish at the end of next year?
Right now, from what I be honest with you, I didn't count all my transaction and how much I have done, but I know from what I have, at least I have for my first quarter, I have 10 clients that I've already set up for my first quarter that it's ready to go. So from each of them, I know because when I start a transaction in the middle of transaction, so far I've been lucky that my clients are sending me a referral. So
Right.
my set goal for my first quarter already is 10 deal, meaning I'm looking at to finish my 2020 with at least 30 to 40 deals for the whole year. And don't forget, I'm a single agent. I don't
Right.
have a team, and it's only me selling, buying, and showing the property. So I'm very, very excited with the goal that I have set up for myself. And I know what I have set up. I'm just kind of, looking at what I have in my pipeline. And I know through this, what I have set up, I am getting more coming towards me from my past clients.
Yes, and I know that your money goal is very awesome because I'm not going to share it because it's yours. But I will tell you that you're doing incredibly well this year, and I think you know that. And if you add that on next year, especially in where you are, Orange County, central Orange County, average sale price over $1 million. Do the math, right?
Well,
But
I'm actually now selling in LA as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
Los Angeles, yes, that's also a very hot market, right?
Yes, yes. I'm actually working in Woodland Hills and Northridge right now with showing properties that, boy, the prices is
Mm.
phenomenal in that area. And that the market is crazier there than, than even in Orange County.
Orange County. Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. All right. So so you did the business for a good 10 years or so. Then you got into this extra gear in 2020 and then 2021. And now you're going to also carry through in 2022. Give us your top 3 reasons how you made that happen. So if somebody's listening today, they can, apply them to their business as well.
Uh, get knowledgeable about your area, learn where you live, be able to, if you're showing your property, get to know the area of where the property is so you can help the buyers. Because I had a lot of first home buyers this past year and this year. And one thing that I did, I was able to give them the proper comp, show them what that area has for them, what would be if they buy the property, how that property is going to move on for them to be a great investment for their future. Get to know the area, be honest with your client, keep your communication open,
Mm,
be responsive, because it's very important, especially with the first time buyer. They don't know what they're getting into. They're making the biggest investment of their lives. They're
mm,
putting their trust in you. So be responsive. Explain to them how the market moves. Explain to them how the whole procedure of purchasing a property works. Explain to them what escrow means. Explain to them what lenders do, what they need to show to be able to be a great client and great buyer. Because if they don't know what they need to do, you cannot be confident enough to move forward with an offer. It's
mm.
not just about writing an offer, being able to show your client what they need to bring into the table to own that property. So get yourself knowledgeable about what you're doing, about what you're actually trying to help the client. It's not just about them making their biggest investment. You want to make sure in the future they come back to you and say, hey, thank you for that investment. I want to sell it and I want you to sell it for me, because it's happening to me. I buy a property for my client. He comes back to me and says, you know what? Now I want to get a better property. Can you sell this one and buy me another one? So
Mm.
this is, you're actually uh, putting the seed in the dirt for your future if you're performing right. So get knowledgeable, get to know the area, explain to your client every step of the way, be responsive. I don't work 9 to 5. I work based on what I can help with my client to be at ease when they're closing the deal or when they are actually selling their property. So be available, be responsive, be knowledgeable, and be transparent with your client.
I
That's
love it.
what I do.
I love it. I love it too. Yeah, and like I teach in Success Series, people will use you because you know what you're doing. You're knowledgeable about the area.
Exactly.
Communication is so critical today,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
definitely set expectations. That's what I heard you say. Tell them what's going to happen next. Explain to the process. So when it
Exactly.
comes, they know what's going on because people get really freaky when they don't know what's going on. Like you said, when they're spending more money than they ever have in their life
Exactly.
on a real estate property that they're gonna, especially if they're first time home buyers, get married, raise their kids there, send their kids to school, all that stuff, which is pretty important to them, pretty important in general.
It is. I put myself in their shoes. When I bought my first property, how did I feel? So I honestly, I take their hand and I tell them, I'm with you every step of the way. And even beyond that, if they still have questions, they call me. If there are something about the property they want to know more, they still call me. So I never lose my communication with them just because the deal closes.
Right.
I I still keep my communication with them, and that's where I get my next referral
Yeah.
because I'm there every step of the way.
You,
So when you close a deal, don't think that it's over. No, it's not over. You made a friend, keep that friendship, and then keep the communication open because that's where your next referral was going to come.
that is so awesome. Perfect way to end it too. So I just want to say thank you very much for taking your time out. It's obvious to me, Sherry, but in talking with you, and I've known you as well since I've been with the company. Basically, you've been in that office. So I know that you're a professional. I know that you help your clients, and that's why you get a tremendous amount of repeat and referral business. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. But
Thanks.
honestly, I got to tell you this about Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.
Sure.
One hell of a company to be with, very ethical people, very responsive. I learned that from you guys to be responsive to my client because I get that from the executive of Berkshire Hathaway. I call anybody that I call, I get immediate response. So that kind of helps me to understand where I'm at and what I need to do to be successful because I have you guys behind me. And I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate that. And you're right too. From Mark Stark to Gordon, I try to do my best as far as the training and the helping with the managers. And then you've got Maria Hill right in your own
Oh,
office.
I love Maria. I got Larry, Maria. And honestly, I got to tell you this. Anytime I call Mark Stark, he picked up the phone.
Oh yeah,
He never, he picked up the phone. I'd never left him a message. I called, he picked up the phone. And says a lot about the company.
yeah. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. And, that's one of the reasons. Definitely one of the reasons why I'm here. As a matter of fact, when I was walking over here, I was walking by his office, and I heard him on the phone wishing. He spends some days it's like 18, 25. There's usually at least 7 or 8 people with 3,600 agents that he's calling and personally wishing them a happy birthday. And
Happy
I can,
birthday.
yeah, my birthday's on Christmas, and he calls me every Christmas morning. What's up, Rick? Happy birthday. I go, is this Mark
He
Stark?
called me on my birthday, and I was like, my God, it makes me feel important and makes me
Yeah.
feel happy to hear from him. So I thank him for that.
Well, we try to
And
do
thank you.
exact. Well, I really appreciate that. And we try to do, because you're our client, right? And you do the same
Yeah.
thing to your clients. And that's why it's a winning combination. So,
You said that you guys set the route for us how to be.
yeah. Well, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Yep. And you set the example too. So we really appreciate you having being around.
Thank you so much. And thank you for all you have taught me, Rick.
All right. Well, I appreciate that too. Thank you very much, everybody. And see you
Have
again
a
on
great
Thursday.
day.
Bye, Sherry. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Thanks for
bye.
taking your time out today.